I've been seriously considering jumping ship from Sony to Canon. A few weeks ago when I had heard the rumored specs that the Sony A7V was going to have 4K 60 with that tired old APS-C crop, I was pretty much done. And then about a week ago I heard it'll do 4K 60 with no crop, which will be a great relief. And then today I noticed on the Sony Alpha Rumors website that it will have 4K 120p, but with a crop. I'm waiting until December 2nd when the Sony A7V is properly announced, and if there's no 4K 120, I'm definitely considering going with the Canon R6 Mark III. That has all the specs that I've been looking for. I've stayed with Sony because of their incredible autofocus, which is really important to someone like me who's visually impaired, but watching the reviews of the Canon R6 Mark III, their autofocus looks every bit as good. The prices of the two cameras are pretty comparable. The Sony A7V is rumored to be $2,999, and I did find a Canon R6 Mark III on B&H Photo for $2,799. So the Canon R6 Mark III has a 32.5 megapixel CMOS sensor. It has OpenGate 7K at 30p, 4K 120, which I've been looking for. It can shoot up to 40 frames per second and has pre-continuous shoot mode. It has an OLED EVF of 3.69 million dots. For the memory card slots, it has CF Express and SD UHS-2. It can do 7K 60p 12-bit internal raw light video. It has dual pixel CMOS AF2. It has 8.5 stops of IBIS, and it has a 3-inch LCD screen, 1.62 million dots. And as far as the rumored specs on the Sony A7V go, it's supposed to have a 33 megapixel partially stacked sensor, and this will have a shooting speed of 10 frames per second in mechanical shutter and up to 30 frames per second 14-bit RAW and electronic shutter. Pre-capture, which I really hope it does have. 8 stops of IBIS. 4K 60 no crop, 4K 120 with a crop, but we don't know what that crop will be yet. No OpenGate, which is kind of a bummer because I do like to shoot vertical video sometimes. It'll have the new AI chip. It'll have the free angle tilting 3.2-inch touchscreen LCD. It'll have one SD slot and one hybrid SD CF Express Type A slot. It'll have an improved EVF of 5.6 million dots, supposedly. One of the major considerations I have about switching to a new camera brand is the lenses. I've built up a humble collection of the less expensive Sony G lenses, along with a bunch of Sigmas. I've bought all my lenses used, and I've taken them to the nature park countless times, so they're in less than pristine shape, so I know they're not going to get top dollar if I try to sell them. The first lens I'd be looking for is a telephoto with at least 600 millimeters, because for me, photographing and filming squirrels and birds requires at least 600 millimeters. I did find a Canon RF 600mm f11 for $829 on B&H Photo. The f11 aperture isn't ideal in low light, but I have seen Casey from Camera Conspiracies using one, and you do get enough background separation at that focal length. If I do decide to switch to Canon, I'm really looking forward to their color science. Some people tell me my squirrel footage has a green tint to it, and I have noticed how lovely the footage is when I'm watching Birding with Calliope. She films with the Canon R7, and the images are gorgeous. You should definitely consider subscribing to Birding with Calliope. It's one of my favorite channels. Very relaxing. Until just last year, Canon wasn't allowing third-party lenses on the RF mount, and that was a major turnoff. And now Sigma's making some affordable lenses for the RF mount, so that's another factor weighing in Canon's favor. The only problem is Sigma hasn't released a full-frame 28 to 70mm lens for the RF mount yet. Besides the Canon R6 Mark III, I've also been looking at the Lumix S1 Mark II. It's a little more expensive. I'm seeing it at $3,197 on B&H Photo, but the L mount definitely has plenty of Sigma lenses available. I know there's adapters out there, but I do prefer using lenses that are native to my camera mount because I notice the autofocus seems to work just that much better. I know many hybrid shooters could care less about 4K 120, but for someone that loves to film wildlife, I find it essential. So if the Sony A7V doesn't have the 4K 120, I'm definitely considering going with the Canon R6 Mark III. Let me know if you've ever switched camera brands and if you bought new lenses or if you found a really good adapter. If you like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing for more camera news from a newbie like me. God bless.